I sent him a write-up by my head of service, which I wish he can share sometime, where the topic was stinginess as a development strategy. When I became governor of Anambra State, I had one of the best head of service you have, a daughter of a respected judge in this country, well-educated, a lawyer, first-class person. And she will always run into my office and say, Peter, please, nobody is happy with you. Everybody is unhappy because you seem to be cutting everything. However, 6 months after, I started using the same money to pay off backlog of old pension, gratuity, everything. They wonder the cost of governance in Nigeria is unacceptable. The waste is huge. And you can deal with it. With the issue of the report you mentioned, the Orosaya report, yes, because there's so many duplications. And you find out that the entire system needs overhaul, make it to be more functional, train people more, be able to bring technology for efficiency and effectiveness. So it's something you need to deal with. I have done it, that they said, that was why I said, I wish you can share or show it, so they'll see what I've done. If there's anything anybody can say they've seen me practice or do, it is cost of governance. Everybody know that. Even till today, you will know that even as I move now, people say, oh, Peter, this thing you seems to be going alone. And I said, when they invite you in a place, ask them whether they invited only you or with some people. Don't go and start causing confusion all over the place. So cost of governance for me is something I practice every day. As governor, I shut down Anambra State Liaison Office in Lagos, the Governor's Lodge in Lagos. I shut down the Governor's Office in Abuja. I shut down our Presidential Lodge, everything. I said, listen, the Governor of Anambra State doesn't live in Lagos or in Abuja. Why are you going to have a house there? Everybody knows what we did when it comes to cost of governance, including removing the office of First Lady. Very sorry about that because they didn't vote my wife, but we were very close. So two of us worked as a family. But she wasn't on the ballot. But we remained together and served the state together as one without causing additional confusion. So the cost we'll deal with Orosaya report, we will implement because there's so many duplications. We did it in Anambra State where we had to bring together certain offices and make it more effective and functional.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. So from what we are hearing, it means that you are an apostle of saving money, cutting the cost of governance, and somehow people call it a shiftless transaction. So if we use that relating to the next question in terms of issue of insecurity and also the money you saved, which I believe that you've invested for Anambra State, what are your views on immediate and remote causes of insecurity that is pervasive in the country? And what are your plans for changing the narrative in the short, medium, and long term? Particularly, what are your views on the need for state police? I know you mentioned it earlier on. Will you create one, and when will that be done?
Okay. Well, nobody can be where we are today and will not have insecurity. I've studied countries after country. You can't have the highest number of people living in poverty and you won't have criminality to the level we have it today. You can't have unemployment. No country of our size that I know with the level of unemployment where you have almost 35% unemployment, with youth unemployment hitting almost 60%. So you have millions of youths in their productive age with so much energy, and you will not have insecurity problem. There's no country that will have millions of out-of-school children, and you won't have criminality. You can go on and on. Our youth drug prevalence is 13.8. when the average is about 5.6, 5.8. You can't have all this without having criminality. So these are what you can call immediate and remote causes of that. And I've been privileged to have visited at least 5 to 6 prisons, trying to ask questions from those in prisons. Why did you do that? What happened? What is? And all of them, not all of them, I didn't say some of them, told me they're not doing anything. They don't have a job. They don't have anything. When you have millions of people who don't know where the next meal will come from, you're bound to have crisis. You have to deal with it decisively by first restructuring the entire security architecture to make it responsive and responsible. So this is what it is. Somebody is responsible. It's not happening, the person goes. And you deal with it. You have to increase your manpower, train them, equip them properly. We have, saw it in my interviews there, we have about 300 and something thousand police. I told the IG, the present IG, and I want to quote him, that there are 370,000 police, because that's what I was told. He told me, no, there are about 320,000. And I know that, considering the number following people around, including myself, and that 70,000 is off. Because you can see so many people one person having as much as 50, 30 police around him. So, if you minus that, so you have 250,000 police for a population of 200 million. It is unacceptable. Egypt is 100 million, and they have over 1 million police. So you need to increase the number. You heard the governor of Katsina say that even when you go to a police station, this is the small number, you will only see 10 police people, and only half of them is armed. So even the 250, they don't have ammunition. So it's a crisis situation that you need to deal with, and deal with it decisively. So you need to increase the manpower, train them, equip them properly, and then motivate them. Let people feel that they are doing their work and everything. So that's what we're going to do in terms of security. Doing this simultaneously, you're dealing with the economy. Because unless you start pulling people out of poverty, the more you pull people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. Unless you start pulling people out of poverty, you're going to have a crisis.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency.